careers. And they'll feel our outpouring of love and support and know how proud we are of each and every one of them. I really couldn't be more proud of these 8 young people. Not only for the way they met the challenges this year, but for the hard work and perseverance that they put in throughout their educational careers. I've seen firsthand the incredible progress in each of these students' academic skills and their daily living skills, their tech skills, social skills, their independence. Through hard work and perseverance, falling down, getting back up, facing their fears, advocating, the graduating class of 2021 leaves CSB stronger, braver, and more independent, ready to take on adulthood and
I think it's working now.
Individual paths of life.
Because it says there's 6 people.
Please join me in congratulating Antonio, Athena, CJ, Derek, I wish you were here, Faith, Juan Carlos, Manny, and Oscar. The California School for the Blind class of 2021. And now I'm delighted to introduce our graduation speaker today, Jyotsna Kaki. Jyotsna started at Google as an accessibility testing specialist and is now a program manager at Google who manages the central accessibility team. My colleague, Adriana Mandy, has gotten to know Jyotsna a little and described her as fantastic at what she does, a screen reader whiz, brilliant at analyzing accessibility issues, dynamic, persistent, honest, kind. Jyotsna's many qualities make her a role model, not just for blind students, but sighted students too. And I'm so pleased that she agreed to join us today to provide inspiration and encouragement for our students as they take the next step. Please join me in welcoming Jyotsna Kaki.
Welcome, graduating students, friends, families, CSB staff, and distinguished guests. I truly believe that certain things in life happen for a good reason. Sometimes we may be able to find out what the reason is, but at other times we may not. August 14, 2001. The day I first set my feet on San Jose State University campus. Even before I had decided which college I would attend, I had set 2 goals for myself. One, to complete my undergraduate studies in no more than 4 years. Second, to graduate with a good GPA. Come what may, I was not willing to compromise on either one of these goals. So, from the first day, I focused, worked hard, and studied all the time. Basically, I was a nerd. During my first year, I was very studious and studied day and night, till I realized that college wasn't as hard as I had presumed. So, I loosened up a bit. I started socializing with friends and started participating in academic clubs. Eventually, I even got a part-time job as a tutor. Not so much for the money, but rather for the experience. Things started looking good and easy. August 2004, I was on my path to success. I had applied to graduate in May 2005 and was approved. I was so happy and proud of myself that I was soon going to graduate with a good GPA. November 15, 2004. My life changed unexpectedly. I lost my vision and became completely blind. It was as if I was climbing up Mount Everest, and when I was just about to reach the top, somebody had pushed me off. future, I saw two options. One, to continue sitting there and let my family take care of me as I knew for sure they would. Or second, get up and start trekking up Mount Everest again. Thanks to the strong willpower my parents had provided, along with the support, I decided to get up and start my life journey all over again. I was back on campus within 2 months of losing my vision and had reset my goals to still graduate with a good GPA, but just as soon as I possibly could. I wouldn't say things were easy because people kept on telling me, you can't do it, let it go, it's too difficult. But because I had set my mind to it and I had the support from my family, I decided to move on forward. Not only was it difficult to do just regular simple things that I used to take for granted, but every step of the way I ran into things which were inaccessible. And I had to learn how to get around it. Though I hated depending on others, I was forced to do so because so many things were inaccessible. But I pushed through. January 2006, I was back at the same spot I had fallen from. I was approved to graduate in May 2006. I was both happy and sad. Happy because I was going to soon graduate with a good GPA. Sad because I didn't know what I would do after graduating from college. My dad recommended that I take it easy for a few months, and if I don't get a job, I could go for a master's. Now that convinced me to push harder because I don't want to go for a master's. During my final semester, I ended up volunteering at the Disability Resource Center as a class project, during which time I tested software to see if it was accessible for individuals with disabilities. That is when it struck me. What if I could get a job in accessibility? I could help make products accessible for individuals with disabilities so that others did not need to suffer using them like I did. As my graduation date got closer, a number of my professors recommended I apply at Google. Conversation after conversation, I refused to do so because I presumed I would not be able to get it. Simultaneously, my brother sent a copy of my resume to his friend at Google without my knowledge and asked him to see if he could find a suitable position for me. As luck turned out, his friend knew some individuals who had somewhat of an insight about accessibility at Google. There I was, went through 3 rounds of interviews, and boom, there I was at Google, hired for the role, accessibility, testing, specialist, a role that did not exist, but was created to get me in. Now, after 14 years at Google, I continue to test software for accessibility and manage a team of testers who help a range of product teams make their products accessible. So, when I said certain things in life happen for a reason, in my perspective, me attending San Jose State College, losing my vision, and getting a job at Google all happened for a good reason. I wouldn't say that I haven't been able to find reason for everything that has happened in my life, or that everything in my life has been easy. But keeping this perspective that things in life happen for a good reason has helped me get over hurdles and move forward in life. Being stuck on something you don't have control over will only slow you down and add hurdles to your life. Keep a positive outlook on life and focus on tomorrow as opposed to being stuck on yesterday, and your life will be at least a tad bit easier and healthier. I would like to leave you with the following quote from the National Federation of Blind. The true problem is not the loss of eyesight. The true problem with blindness is a lack of opportunity and misunderstanding that exists. If a blind person has proper training and opportunity, blindness can be reduced to a physical nuisance. Thank you.
We will now have a reflection song performed by CSB student Delan Yunez, recorded especially for today's event. Here is his performance for our graduates of You'll Never Walk Alone. When you walk through a storm, hold your hand up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end the storm, there's a golden sky and a sweet silver song of the Lord. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, those your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you never walk alone. You never walk walk on with hope in your heart, and you never walk alone. You never
Good afternoon. My name is Shannon Johns. I'm the principal of Career and Vocational Programs here at CSB. I supervise the teachers of the programs in our ACES program, which is our transition program. And we're now going to start honoring our graduates. So I'm going to call up the teachers, and they will be coming up to acknowledge their graduates. First up, Tina Mashad.
Good
afternoon, everybody. It's so good to be here in person. Okay, so my first graduate unfortunately wasn't able to make it today, but hopefully he's watching on the live stream, so I still have a speech for him. So my first graduate is Derek Henderson, and Derek participated in the life skills class here with me for just over 3 years and finished his program this past December. When I think back over the time that we had together, Derek has come such a long way. We had a pretty bumpy start at the beginning of his journey at CSB, but I'm so glad that we were able to work through it. What a gift it was to see Derek learn, transform, grow, and mature over the years. He worked hard, improved his social skills so much, and became a dedicated worker both on and off campus at all the different job sites, like the thrift store and the church where he volunteered. I'm so proud of Derek, and I wish him all the best in his future adventures, which I hope include lots of quad riding, race watching, and game playing, but also making new friends and work, getting a job that's fulfilling, where he can earn some money and use the great work skills that he developed here at CSB. Derek always had the best pump-up lines. Whenever anyone needed encouragement, he would always say, "You got this." So congratulations, Derek, you got this. All right, my next graduate is CJ. Woo! CJ! So CJ first came to CSB just last summer during distance learning at a time when we didn't know if or when we'd be back on campus. Well, the entire school year ended up being on Zoom for CJ. Yeah, that's the front of the stage. Stay back a little bit. That's good. So we were on Zoom all year, and this is actually the first time we got to meet in person. So excited he's here. Yay, CJ!
Yeah, CJ! Woo!
I just want to say, CJ, you should be very proud of yourself. You changed schools, met new teachers, made new friends, and managed to make great progress, all while going through school in a completely new and different way. And that is really something. CJ, you've been an all-around awesome student to work with. I admire your optimism, thoughtfulness, and the great energy you bring to class each and every day. You have such a fun and playful personality, and your smile always lights up the room.
Thank you, you guys.
I will miss listening to old school Mariah Carey songs with you at the end of our individual lessons, but thank goodness for the mute button on Zoom so you never had to hear me try and hit those notes. I'm so glad to have had you as a student this last year, and I wish you the very best going into the future. I know that with your positive attitude and great work ethic that you will succeed in whatever your heart leads you to do. Congratulations, CJ.
Well, I am here to introduce my graduate, Ms. Faith Murray.
Go, Faith!
All right. Thanks for being here, Faith. And I'm very sad that Faith is leaving. Faith has been here something like 150 years. And, you know, and I look back at that, it was only 11, but, you know, Faith has been at CSB almost as long as I have. So I know that we were both young children when we started. And, you know, I kind of considered Faith kind of like a fixture because she was everywhere. So it's like the lights, the tables, the chairs, and then there was Faith, because Faith was always around. And what I really enjoyed finding out about Faith when I finally had her in my class for the last year and a half was how fun she was. She was just so funny and full of joy, and always loved to hear a good joke, and always wanted to tell a good joke. And her laugh was infectious, and such a wonderful, beautiful smile. And I think that we really appreciated that when we were doing this distance learning, because what else did we have was just to talk to each other for hours upon hours. But we made it through. See, she's laughing right there. But we made it through. And I also want to give a really big shout out to Faith's mom, Yolanda. Yolanda has been a fixture as well. So she has been with us forever, 150 years as well, working on PFA, and you would see her serving pizza and everything. And I really appreciate that about Yolanda, and I'm hoping that she can still work with us in some capacity. And Faith is saying she's going to come back, and hopefully she will get to enjoy us and watching another graduation ceremony, maybe even performing. And that would be so wonderful. All right, and I think Faith has a word or two to say.
Hello, everyone. I am very excited to be graduating.
I'm going to do the middle part of Faith's speech. Faith says, when I was at CSB, I learned to use the cash register, the money reader, and how to swim. I enjoyed learning the Braille note, the PC, and the Mac. My favorite class was music. Mr. Siligo taught me to play the keyboard. I also enjoyed O&M because I got to go shopping.
I want to thank all my teachers. Thank you, Mom, for helping me and for all that you have done for me.
Thank you, Faith. I love you.
All right, and next we have Chris Wyckoff.
Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. Can you hear me a little better now?
Yep.
All right. And I'm introducing Oscar Cisneros Barón. So, meeting Oscar for the first time a couple years ago was quite an experience. This tall young man was intent on going home and not staying at CSB. Every time the weekend would approach, Oscar would say, "I'm not coming back." Then finally it was, "Okay, I'll stay until December." But Oscar, of course, would always come back to CSB. Once Paula and I started talking about The Walking Dead or the wrestlers in WWE, Oscar began to open up. And before long, it was easy to see how Oscar embodied the true definition of a gentle giant. He showed his caring side by checking on and asking how staff and other students were always doing. Eventually, his hilarious sense of humor came out, and Oscar's smile and laugh began to fill the class with positivity. Oscar also cares very much about his family and always wanted to help contribute to his household. This also showed in Oscar's hard work here at CSB. His motivation to contribute to his family made Oscar's work ethic unmatched. So, thank you, Oscar. Thank you for letting me be a part of your journey and watching you grow and become the wonderful young man you have become.
I started in CSB in day one, and teachers as well as new for me. Thanks all the teachers for their help. Thank you, CSB.
Love you, brother.
Angela Martin will now come up.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Angela Martin, Principal of Education, and it's my pleasure to introduce Kate McGrath, teacher of our Newark Memorial High School program, and her student will be receiving his high school diploma from Newark Memorial and CSB.
name's Kate McGrath, and I'd like to introduce my graduate, Antonio Salazar. All right. So this was my first year working with the Newark students, and it was a pleasure to get to know Tony and the rest of his class, despite the challenges of distance learning. Technology issues, schedule changes, and fighting the urge to turn their cameras off and sleep through their classes were just some of the obstacles we overcame as a class. I'm proud of Tony for the way that he stepped up to the plate and passed his classes to be getting his high school diploma today, even when he grumbled about it sometimes. It's clear that Tony has a great bond with his class. They kept each other sane by playing Dungeons and Dragons, watching YouTube videos, and reminiscing over funny stories from previous years. Our class's teaching assistant, Michael Ortiz, is a great support for Tony this year as well. They have a lot of shared interests, and I often heard Michael say, "Hey Tony, if we finish this assignment, we can talk about anime." Tony's former teacher, Linda Eck, also had a few words to add. I had the good fortune of working with Antonio for his freshman and junior years. He is a voracious reader and recommended the best books. I especially enjoyed reading series because we had interesting conversations regarding characters and plot lines while I was reading them. There were no spoiler alerts with Antonio. I had Antonio, Natalie, and Michael in the same algebra class, and I can still see the satisfaction on Antonio's face when he would work through two equations with two unknowns on the smartboard. I love teaching, and Antonio was part of all my favorite classes. I wish him all the best things in his future. Tony, I believe that you can accomplish anything you set your mind to, whether it's watching all the anime in existence, finding a job you love, or living alone in a cabin in the woods, if that's what your heart desires. Congratulations on all your hard work, and we all wish you the best in the future.
All right. Our next teacher is Maria DiBernardo, and her students are graduating with high school diplomas from Kennedy High School in Greenwood. There are 3 students in this class. Athena Scopolite is walking up with Maria. We have Emmanuel Marin Ortiz and Juan Carlos Aldana Martinez.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm going to try this without crying, but just in case I have tissues. Okay. 2,942 miles and 4 years old, I walked into a classroom of freshmen. They say that people come into your life for one of 3 reasons. 1, so you can change them. 2, so they can change you. And most uncommonly, so you can change each other. And for us, that's exactly what happened. As we created the Kennedy Code, we all sink and swim together. It was apparent that we were a winning team. And although there have been some tough times, one thing that I can say about this group is that they've all kept each other afloat and swam together. JC, Athena and Manny, otherwise known as the Jam Crew, have excelled and grown and matured together and individually. This year that they are graduating from CSB and Kennedy High School with an A+ average. They have worked diligently, tirelessly, and to the best of their abilities while maintaining a somewhat positive attitude. JC, what a ride. From freshman year to coming back as a junior and falling right into place without missing a beat, you have persevered through the Grayler, Algebra 2, with the mommies graph and the twinsies parabolas. I am so very proud of your accomplishments, and I'm impressed with your communication skills and the confidence you exude. Athena, a name that means warrior, and what a warrior you are. Through Brayla and Espinoza, you have fought your battles and won. You have been determined to work sometimes incessantly, and that we have to create a break schedule to take breaks. And what is breaks first? Yes. You have earned your name and honor. I am so impressed with your dedication. Manny, what can I say without shaking my head? I have age-related grays with your name on them. You have kept me on my toes while doing some crazy but entertaining things. There have been rock-bottom times for the both of us, but I thank you for always reminding us to take a break. I personally thank you for being my own tech support as we learned how to navigate the Kennedy CSB mangled system. I have to hand it to you. To my original crew, my OG, me and Michael will miss you, but you have impressed a special place in our memory bank. I am left in awe of your personal growth, and I am looking forward to watching you create your future. Thank you. And now I introduce Athena.
So as you guys may or may not know, I have been at CSB since I was 9 years old, and over those times I have made some of the most incredible and irreplaceable friendships and partnerships in my heart with the people here. And last night, I'm not gonna lie, I was up like most, if not all of the night, freaking out about like, what is it gonna be like to say goodbye to, you know, these amazing people, and like, just everyone who has helped me so much through my struggles, not only in academics, but in personal life as well. But then when I got here, I just instantly knew when I saw the faces that it's never just goodbye.
So for me, it's been a really long, and I mean a long way. I actually started in 2014. Actually, I still remember the date, September 17th. And, you know, it's been a crazy experience, especially when I got to high school. And I have to thank my classmates, my friends, especialmente a mis padres que me estuvieron ahí para soportar todo lo que he hecho. Gracias. Thank you to all of my friends. This year was, it couldn't have been better without you guys, especially you, Michael, Maria. Man, I'm starting to get emotional. Just thank you for everything. Thank you for everything. Thank you for all the time you guys have been there.
Well, I guess it goes without saying that it has been a long ride for everyone, and no one expected, COVID to keep us apart for 15 months. But even though that happened, we stood together as a class, and somehow I feel like that made our relation better, stronger. Because, knowing each other on Zoom all day, that's not an easy thing. But there is always the option of disconnecting audio. But I do want to say that a student is nothing without the help of their families and their teachers. So, Maria and Michael, I guess without saying that, Manny, Athena, and I, and everyone else in the class, I appreciate everything that you guys do, even if we don't mention it. Sorry for the times that we have almost give you guys a heart attack, especially Maria. So yeah, thanks to them, to my mom, my sister, and to all CSB.
Give him another hand, y'all.
Closely with some of them for many years, so it's an emotional day. So next, we will have a scholarship presented to 2 students by the Dawnbreakers Lions Club. A couple of years ago, I had the opportunity to join the Dawnbreakers Lions Club for one of their meetings, which of course was the break of dawn, because that's when they meet, to talk with them about CSB and to hear about their incredible community service. I have to tell you, I was struck by this group of really fun, congenial, and just incredibly caring people who are so devoted to serving the community, and in particular, those with visual impairments. We're grateful to the Dawnbreakers for their ongoing support of our CSB graduates in the form of 2 annual scholarships. And with that, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Mike Hale from the Dawnbreakers Lions Club.
Put this up a little higher. Yeah, so my name is Michael Hale with the Dawnbreakers Lions Club. We're part of Lions International. International, which is one of the world's largest community service organizations. It started back in 1917 in Chicago, of all places. But by the time it was 1925, it spread throughout, and we actually got Helen Keller to come as our guest speaker. At that time, Helen Keller came and challenged the Lions Club to be knights of the blind and the deaf. And to that end, we've continued that service, and so lots of our service projects are all around vision and hearing issues. With that said, that inspires the Dawnbreakers to raise funds so we can give scholarships every year. So we're happy that we're able to give 2 scholarships this year to the California School for the Deaf for Athena Scopolite and Emmanuel Martinez. This is to help you in your continuing education. It doesn't pay for all your college, but I'm hoping that this little bit will help in any way possible. I just want to thank you, a big hand for these students.
I'm not as tall as Mike. All right. Hi, graduates. It's Shannon Johns. We're just about at the end of our celebration. I know that you've all learned many things this year. New academic skills, new technology skills, new ways to make friendships on Zoom, new ways to share your feelings and to advocate for your needs. All of those things are important. But more than anything else, I hope you have learned how resilient you are, how strong you are, and how flexible you can be. Resilience, strength, and flexibility will help you tackle any obstacle in your way. And a sense of humor helps too. Sometimes we just need to laugh at ourselves. I'm grateful that I've been able to meet you along my journey, and I wish you the very best as you move forward into the next phase of your lives. I hope you will remember to keep learning, to trust yourself, and to always, always be kind.
Hello everyone, this is Angela Martin, graduates of CSB. On behalf of all the members of the CSB community, I congratulate you. Today is a day of celebration. We celebrate your resiliency and flexibility this year. At times, we felt buried by our circumstances this past year. But if you consider a farmer planting a seed, did the farmer bury the seed? Well, yes, but he also planted it. Instead of feeling buried by your situation, we must realize the pain and heartache that has been piled upon us is not meant to bury, but to plant us in a way that will allow us to grow and prosper into who we are meant to be. As you stop and take in the circumstances around you, will you allow yourself to be buried or planted? As you move on from CSB and embark on the next big journey of life, whether that's college, the workforce, the Hatland Center, or something else, life will at some point begin to feel like it's going too fast. This year, my own yoga practice and walks outside have taught me a new way to handle these times. As I exercise and enjoy the beauty of nature, this was a way for me to handle these crazy times and for me to slow down. When life becomes too much like a race for you, it may not be a yoga or a walk, but it may be listening to music, creating art, playing an instrument, sport or D&D, connecting with friends, or something else entirely. I encourage you to find that one thing that allows you to unwind and refocus when life moves too fast. As you move into the next step, take the skills, confidence, and energy from your time at CSB with you as you grow. It's my pleasure, along with Shannon, to present the class of 2021.
Graduates, congratulations, you did it. Please stand up for me, graduates. Please stand up. Everyone, please give a round of applause to our graduating class of 2021. Thank you all for attending.